As a Swedish filmmaker and journalist, I always took the right to freedom of speech for granted. But as I came to learn, it depends on the story you want to tell. I did a film called Bananas, and in that film I follow banana workers from Nicaragua that are suing Dole Food Company. Dole kept using a banned pesticide. Dow Chemicals, the producer of this pesticide, told them, please send all the stuff back because now our American workers are sterile. But they said, no, we want more of this chemical. In Nicaragua, they kept using it for 4 more years after it was banned. In the Philippines, 9 years longer. That is a litigation that will be ongoing for over 30 years, but I followed the first group that managed to open up a case in the US court here in Los Angeles.
Did it occur to you, Mr. DiLorenzo, that maybe it would be best not to use DVCP until you were sure your workers wouldn't be affected, instead of waiting for the evidence to pile up?
Yes, I think it did occur to us.
They kept using this pesticide. So this is kind of the story that they don't want people to talk about.
Bananas was invited to premiere at the Los Angeles Film Festival in 2009.
But when Dole attacked with real aggression, they sent the cease and desist letter to every single sponsor of the film festival.
The Los Angeles Film Festival took the film out of competition and then they put it in a special section and they called it a case study.
What I knew was that I only used public material from the court. I couldn't even imagine that they would go after us.
Alltså här har vi gjort en film som vi har jobbat så mycket med. Det här kan ju förstöra hela karriären för filmen.
I want to say again that we feel like the film stands on its own and is very, very defensible.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to pull out of the festival? We'll support you. Do you want to still show your movie in LA? We'll support you in that way and we'll work this through.
So basically if you say...
I have to say, is that Michael Carter coming there in the white jacket? It is, isn't it? Yeah. The Dole vice president, Michael Carter, and his lawyers arrive. These are the guys who have been putting pressure on us for over 6 weeks now to pull the film.
It was important to me that Frederick keep fighting only because he was the artist. He made this film that was not wrong.
Putting a documentary into a special ghetto of its own, declassifying it, and then feeling like there was surveillance on me and the audience as we lined up and were forced to read a document that disavowed this thing. And I actually felt completely ashamed for the entire Los Angeles movie industry and the festival. It was beyond belief to think that could be done to a participant in a film festival.
It's insane. But on the other side, I'm a curious human being. So it was also interesting in many ways to follow this, because suddenly when you have it up in your face, you also see the structures of society in a new way.
Dole Foods is suing a Swedish filmmaker for wanting to show a fraudulent documentary slamming the company.
Malmöfilmaren Fredrik Gertten stäms av det amerikanska bananföretaget Dole. Företaget hävdar att Bananas är en bluff.
Have you ever been sued by a transnational? You have not. I mean, I haven't neither before. I mean, so it's a very scary thing because you don't know the rules of the game.
To go after your film is just a little tiny part of a big investment they're willing to make to keep billions of dollars of judgments away from knocking on the door.
Maybe this film is a shock therapy. It's me trying to understand what the biggest fruit company in the world did when they attacked me, how they did it, what tools they had in their toolbox. A lot of different tricks, kind of the dirty, dark side of PR.
We have a media that is corrupted by power, mostly by corporate power. You have corporate ownership from the top, you have corporate advertising coming in from the side. Corporate influence is really the mother's milk.
They were quite successful, especially in the US, to make me look like I was not a very good filmmaker.
Journalism, this sacred thing, it's the only profession that is actually singled out and protected in the US Constitution in the very First Amendment of the Bill of Rights, free press. And yet our journalism is not practiced in the public interest.
I hope people that see this film get inspired. It's still possible to do your thing. And I think also for other people it's good to know, to see the techniques of the powerful. Because by understanding their techniques, you will also make them less dangerous. Because you can see how they do it and then, aha, okay, they're playing that trick again. You know, then it's not as scary. So I think that's a part of letting the trolls out in daylight.